How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another evening of Jordan Trotter's Trading Channel. If you are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome back to the channel. Today's forecast, we have, imagine, I can really be a news anchor. No, all jokes aside, trading opportunities. We might be catching a trade, and I guess I'm about to just show y'all. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the gym because I really don't think this is gonna play out this morning, but I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna go to the gym and then we're gonna come back later and we're gonna see if anything changed. So give me a second. I'm about to set y'all up so I can break this down for y'all. Okay, so the main reason I'm interested in this pair is based off of what the daily time frame is telling me. So the daily time frame, I saw that price was bullish, that then switched to bearish due to the breakout of these higher lows. I'm looking for price to have the retest of this structure, but it broke above. And then as price got back below my daily structure, this area of resistance slash support, this is when I dropped towards that 4 hour. On the 4 hour time frame, clear as day, we see price go again from a bearish to bullish trend with the continuation breakout happen around here. Price then had the flip to a bearish trend, breaking past these higher lows, again getting back underneath this daily structure point. So as soon as price presented me with this breakout, that's when I went towards the 1 hour because I wanted to identify if they were doing the same thing. And on the 1 hour time frame, you can see exactly that. We see the 4 hour present us with the break of structure towards the downside. The 1 hour present us with the break of structure towards the downside. Now, where is a zone where the 4 hour and the 1 hour can pull back to find rejection and possibly continue in that same direction? Well, since we're in sync with the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I use my 1 hour time frame for my entry zones. And only way to find your entry zones, look for the last breaker structure. The last breaker structure occurred around here. This is when I grabbed that box tool and I marked it off like so. And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections towards the zone, a well-respected area of interest. And now I'm just simply waiting for the 5-minute time frame to show me the break of structure. Like we all know, price has to go from a bearish to bullish trend on the lower time frames to allow the higher time frames to have the retest of that structure. Now, what I would like to see is for this bullish trend to go back bearish, but most importantly, be below my daily structure and be below my entry zone. Once we can have that, hence is why I have this alert, I will then find my entry, route this trade towards our take profit level being here. And if you don't know, if I'm using my 1 hour area of interest to find my entry zones, I use my 1 hour lows for my take profit. Simple as that. All right, so if you don't know what this whole thing is, I recently started with $60. I'll pop that up here. I took $60 to around $1,000. We're close to $1,000. The highest we've been was $953. I'll pop that up there. And then we took the $953, invested it into a $100,000 account so I can scale a little bit more. So now we have a $100,000 account, one challenge account, and then we have a $100,000 live account, and we're just trading both. Right now, we haven't traded for the past month. It's been a month off of no trading, just due to the market not showing us anything. And who am I to try to force a trade? Like y'all know out there, the more trades you force, the more you start getting out of sync with your strategy alone. So you don't want to force trades. So we're not forcing trades. We're simply being patient. We're allowing price to come to us. If we can get that, okay, that's a blessing. But if not, we just continue to wait. The more you focus on the execution, less about the money aspect, bro, you will take off like no other. I had to realize that later on in my career, but I'm happy I realized that now. That way I can share it with y'all, and y'all don't have to go through those same mistakes of trying to force setups, not being patient, not waiting for your time frames to be aligned. Basically, just not waiting on your plan. Wait on your plan. When you see your plan, execute the plan. Everything else, out of your control. So right now, I'm about to go to the gym. Obviously, y'all saw what we're waiting on. I'm going to see if it can happen. I don't know. I truly don't believe it's going to happen this morning. The latest I will enter my trade is probably around 11:30, 11:45, because that's when we're switching over to Tokyo session. Yeah, and there's no volume in the market. So we're going to see. I'm going to go do that. And then, like I said, I'll just update y'all with whatever takes place after. I'm not going to take y'all to the gym. I'm not that comfortable yet. Once I get there, we'll get there. Bear with me. But I'm not that comfortable taking y'all boys to the gym and ladies to the gym. I don't know who's watching the video, but I'm not doing that. Later on down the road, we probably will, but right now, this is strictly content for trading. Everything I'm doing about the challenge, well, with the challenge, y'all are going to see. Everything outside of the challenge, y'all probably won't see. Unless I'm just chilling like I'm doing now, picking up the camera, talk to y'all boys. So, all right, I'm about to go get ready. I got legs today, heavy leg day. I'll probably sneak in a video or two. I don't know, bro. I hate recording myself. I ain't gonna lie. Do I? No, I don't. I hate setting up the recording, knowing that somebody else is about to watch the recording about me. That's what I don't like. But all right, I guess I'll update y'all later. Deuces. All right, y'all. I just got back from the gym, and by the looks of it, I'm looking at the chart. We're not catching a trade today, bro. I guess I'm gonna do a whole video on what this is helping me with, you know, as far as not taking trades, me sitting on my hands and just allowing the market to come to us. I'm upset because last week we should have took a trading opportunity. That's what I think we talked. Dang, I can't talk about it. That's what have made us. That trade would have made us $20,000. It pushed to like a 4.8. No, it pushed to a 5% overall in return. I was risking 2,000 on that trade. I would have made 10 bands on one account, 10 bands on a challenge account. Both accounts combined, we would have had $20,000. This week, bruh, it's not looking good. We're not catching any trades. The market is not moving how we need it to move. Hence is why we're not executing. I don't see my plan in the market, and I don't care if it takes I do care. If it takes a couple more days before we find a trade, bruh, so be it. I'm gonna just keep waiting. But all right, I'm about to just update y'all with the charts and what's going on. So hold on. I ain't gonna lie. If people tell y'all this is not the reality of trading, they're lying. Scalpers, they're not finding high probability setups every day. They're just trying to get in, get out, blah, 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 blah. But when you have like a day/swing trading type of outlook on the market, bro, you're not going to find a trade every day in the market. And this is the raw reality where we just don't do anything until we see the plan. But it works on your discipline because now you're disciplined enough to sit out on missed opportunities, not as far as seeing your plan and then you forget to execute, but you're missing out on non-high probability setups based off of your discipline to only execute when you see your plan. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to follow. Let's hop into the charts. Euro USD, we're not taking a trade on this pair. So looking at it from the daily timestamp, just starting here, the one thing that I see is that price at the moment is getting back above this daily structure point. And when we are above, we treat this area as support and continue towards the upside. So when price is breaking above, I'm not really interested on the daily timestamp. 4-hour timestamp, you can see how this is possibly going to go and give us a break of these lower highs. If price on the 4-hour gives us a break of these lower highs, I'm simply walking away because now this setup is invalid. I'm no longer looking for sales. If anything, I will have to switch my bias over to buys. And yeah, that wouldn't... Nothing telling me right now that buys on this pair looks good. So 4-hour time frame possibly presented us with a break of structure. 1-hour time frame, it looks pathetic. We are again above an area daily structure where we treat it as support. We will have to wait for price to have this hard push all the way back down, breaking below 1, the daily structure zone, and then 2, back below this 1-hour area of interest. And by the time that happens, that's when we will find our position. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not finding a position right now on Euro USD. I really don't think we are going to find a position at all on this pair throughout the week. I'm starting to push my focus to GBP USD and slowly towards it's just really right now GBP USD. I will be doing a breakdown on this pair in the next hour and a half because everything looks really, really good. But as far as Euro USD, no trade opportunities are coming. We are walking away and we're going to wait. We will be waiting. All right, y'all. So I just saw that obviously Euro USD just looks horrible. GBP USD though, she's next up. No. This is chalk. I know some of y'all was looking, what is that on his hand? It's chalk. I lift a lot of weight. I want chalk on my hand so I can grip the bar and it doesn't slide out my hands. The people that know. If you don't know, go lift some more weight. Even though I was upset about Euro USD, it's okay because I am human. And at the end of the day, I told y'all I'm a firm believer in Christ. A verse that I just went back to and, to reshape my way of thinking and just
to put my faith back in Christ. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. So basically, right now, I believe on my own understanding that Euro USD should have gave us something. I believe in my own understanding I will not catch a trade by the end of this week. I believe in my own understanding that basically there's just no more trades that are coming. But what this verse is telling me to stop leaning on my own understanding, right? The Lord can present us with an opportunity either tonight, tomorrow, and we can execute. But I have to continue to lean on him and his ways, because as I do that, he's going to make those paths straight. I believe right now it's a rocky road. I'm a little frustrated, like y'all saw earlier. But if I continue to just rely on the Lord, not only am I not no longer frustrated, I now have a clearer understanding of, oh, okay, well, he's protecting my capital from something worse. He's preparing me for a bigger trade. And that's me going back on what I know and relying more on what he knows in his word. And again, he's making that path straight. Now, I'm no longer worried. I'm no longer frustrated. I'm settled down. I'm following that plan, and I'm listening to the Lord. I'm no longer frustrated, because it's good to be like frustrated in the moment, but if you allow it to creep to days, to weeks and stuff, that's when you mess up. This is how we build faith. The Lord says, do not lean on my own understanding. I don't want to lean on my own understanding of things, because obviously I don't know right from wrong. The Lord knows everything. He's telling me to lean on him and always submit to him. I'm submitting to him. I'm giving my problem to him, and he's going to make that path straight. Let's see what happens, because we got what? Today, tomorrow. I think today's Thursday. We could possibly catch a trade tonight that leads over into Friday, and then, you know what I'm saying, be good. Same thing that happened last week. So let's see what happens. Y'all saw GBP USD coming into play, which looks really good, and we're gonna go from there. I don't think I have anything to say. I'm about to go get in the shower, start editing this video. I gotta actually record another video talking about the strategy. Yeah, I'm gonna update y'all later on, I guess, when something happens in the charts. Again, this is the challenge account. We ain't doing nothing, but talk about that challenge, baby. We're gonna talk about that challenge, get them trades going, and that's really it. All right, that's it. See y'all in a minute. All right, y'all, so we have GBP USD as far as tonight, like I said already. Let's actually move this to not ready. So on GBP USD, why am I interested in this pair? Well, simply on the daily time frame, we see prices bullish. We then have the break towards this bearish structure, having our highs here, our lows here, and that recent break of structure being here, which is also used as support / resistance, right? So we see price is now getting back above an area of support and resistance, and on top of that, it's leaving us with this bullish engulfing. After I saw price break back above this area, one, an area of support / resistance, and then two, I saw price give me an entry signal on the higher time frames. Now I'm looking for buying scenarios, which pushed me to go towards a 4-hour time frame to see what. On the 4-hour time frame, we see that price goes from this bearish to then bullish trend, with the break of structure taking place around here. As soon as price gave me this break of structure, one, I marked it off like so, and as soon as price gave us this is when I went towards the 1 hour to see if we were in sync. The 1-hour time frame, we can see clear as day, have a clean break towards the upside. We see the 4-hour and the 1 hour both performing recent break of structures. On the last structure break, the 1 hour happens to be around here. We see price was going in this bearish trend that then flipped bullish due to the breakout of these. Oh, I lied. No, my fault. We see this. Let's just draw it out, because that will be confusing how I'm explaining it, right? But we see price go from bearish to then bullish due to the breakout of these lower highs. But the last structure break was around here. Hence is why we have this marked off like so. And if I drag this out towards the left, y'all can see how this area gets treated as what? Support, 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 resistance, 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 support, resistance. So we have a support slash resistance zone where price respects it. Now I simply want to see price form the retracement, having the break and retest on the 1 hour time frame. That will also allow the 4 hour time frame to have the break retest of its own recent structure break. Once we see both of those break and retest get established, we then just wait for the 5 minute time frame to flip back bullish. So in order for us to have the retest of the zone, we see how the lower time frame has to go from a bullish to bearish trend to allow the higher time frame to have the retest of the recent break. Once we see price work its way down like so, we'll wait for the retest and then wait for the break of structure, getting back above one, our entry zone, and then most importantly, getting back above our daily structure point. Once we see this happen within price, I will then find my entry, stops being below, and since I'm using my 1 hour area of interest as my entry zone, I will then use the 1 hour time frame highs for my take profit, looking something like this. So I'm expecting GBP USD to have some type of steep pullback into our entry zone later tonight. We'll have to just see what happens. I would say 8 o'clock, but we probably won't see anything until 12 a.m. So pre-London session, and then we can go from there. So stay tuned for updates, and let's see what happens. Look at that. Price took off. Same pair too. GBP USD. Price took off. All right, so the trade did exactly what it needed to do. We just didn't get the chance to execute. And it's all right because, you know, half the time you're not going to see your plan in the market, which means you don't execute, because us as traders, we simply just execute the plan. So whenever we see the plan, the only objective we have is to execute. We can't do anything else. And that's what just happened. I can't do anything else. The plan didn't give me any type of execution. Therefore, we did not enter, even though the overall bias was correct. You don't just start clicking buttons just because you want to say, hey, I want to make some money. I haven't made money in a little while. Bro, it's been like it's been a month and 1 week, a month and 7 days since we took a trade, which is crazy. I've never taken this long of a break, but that's good because it continues to work on discipline. Discipline allows me not to go act on just eagerness and pridefulness, because my pride is telling me you can make a lot of money, but the discipline is telling me you don't see the plan. So we don't execute. Right now I'm about to get ready because I have a one-on-one call like around 2 o'clock. I'm about to prepare for that. And after that, we about to get into these charts because I want to show y'all what actually took place, how the trade just took off. So let's talk about it. Give me a second. I'm going to see y'all here in a minute. All right, y'all. So I'm about to get in the shower. It's really nothing to it, you know, the market on what happened, because we already broke down what we wanted to see. Price never came back towards my area of interest to then have the continuation. If we go towards the 1 hour time frame, what happened was price formed that retracement. We started to form the correction, but instead of us having the correction all the way back down here, price formed the correction to about right here, being that 4 hour break of structure. You can obviously see based off of this wick towards this area, price found support and then had the continuation, which it happens, right? It's not every time where we see price come back, retrace towards our area, and then continue. Price does sometimes have the break. As we have the break, instead of coming all the way back down to our area of interest, we'll come about right here and then have the continue. And in this case, that's what happened. That's okay, because in order for us to find an entry, we have to be at the zone. We are not at the zone, which means our plan is not in the market, which is why we don't execute on the trade. So that's what ended up happening with this pair. Our overall bias was correct. It's just we didn't have the ultimate retracement or correction back down to have the retest before we had the continuation, which it happens. This was a really, really, really good trade. All right, y'all. So we had an amazing session today. I really enjoyed today's session. It was probably the best session I've had so far doing these one-on-ones. Enough said, no trades like y'all saw taken into account, and no change on the account. We're simply about to just wait until next week, see if we can catch something good and go from there. We're still waiting, still being patient. We chilling, laying back on the sidelines, and we're gonna see when we get that ball tossed to us, what can we do as far as executing on that field, aka executing our plan. So like y'all boys know, if y'all like the video, make sure you like. If you have any questions, make sure you comment. And if you don't want to miss anything else, make sure you subscribe. I do have a link towards the Discord if you want to join the Discord, learn a little bit more information, learn my strategy, learn how to use my strategy, and be surrounded by like-minded individuals like yourself looking to get better in this trading atmosphere. Click the link down below in the description. But enough of that. Y'all stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to catch y'all